Ask Reddit, what's the reason you have been banned from an establishment such as a shop, bad restaurant, cafe, etc. Got banned from the mall when I was younger because I wore an inappropriate shirt that I bought in the mall. I had a Harry Potter wand keychain confiscated at TSA, US airport security, earlier this year. I bought it in the same airport within the security zone on my last flight before that. Well yeah, what if you started casting spells and hit? Was banned from a mall arcade when I was a kid for holding all the whack-a-moles down. I was also banned from an arcade, but for an even more bullshit reason. For picking up quarters. I was a very young kid and saw that people would drop quarters and just never bother to pick them up or didn't know they dropped them. So I would pick them up from around the machines. Nothing dangerous, nothing suspicious, and use them to play. I'm not talking about quarters people just dropped, but ones that are sitting there on the floor with nobody around, covered in dust, webs and sand. The attendant argued they were not mine and belonged to the shop and I was stealing. I can kind of see that point since it's private property, but I was like 7 years old, spent plenty of my own money in the arcade, and I spending all the quarters I found right back into their rigged clawbacks. It was just a hitty thing to do to complain and ban me. All they had to do was say not to pick up the quarters and I would stopped. I ran an arcade back in the day. When I saw a kid looking around on the ground and in return slots for coins, I'd go and load a bunch of free credits in a game to test it, play for a minute, then tell them, hey, there are some games loaded up over here, but I have to get back to work. You can play them if you want. When I was 12, my favorite thing to do was play laser tag at the one laser tag place in our town. I'd go every Friday night and play for 3 hours or so. There weren't many other regular players, so nobody else was getting better at it like I was. After about a year I was just wrecking everyone, and the owner ended up banning me from the place because it was driving away customers. It really sucked because it was favorite activity and I was just immediately cut off from it. 6 years later I found a place in another city that had other players that played regularly, so I was able to start playing again with people at similar skill levels. Getting banned for being too good is a huge bragging right, LMAO. I got banned from Six Flags Great Adventure, NJ, several times in the early 90s. Back when I was in high school, season passes like $40 or something, making it a no-brainer to buy one if you intended to go at least twice. My friend and I went probably 5 to 7 days a week, since we lived close by. We knew the park and its operations better than pretty much anyone who didn't work there, and eventually grew too comfortable with taking shortcuts through employee areas, trying to climb things we shouldn't, bothering other guests, and overall being a bunch of New Jersey teenagers, aka jerks. Thing is, the only IDs we had on us were our season passes, which we always assigned fake names for no pre-planned reason. Summer of 1994, my pass said Oscar Schindler. We eventually got in so much trouble they would take our passes and tell us we were banned for life. Well, another $40 at the front gate and boom, back in as it's Hack's turn. They needed at that time to figure out the flaws in their system. This is how I got banned from Chuck E. Cheese. I figured out that I could take a ball from the game where you shoot the clown's teeth and use it at the skee-ball machine. The skee-ball machine would count the points, but not the ball used, which enabled me to play forever with just one ball and maximum out the machine. I did it onto skee-ball machines before someone noticed, and I got banned/kicked out. I have won, but at what cost? No more eating pizza near a sneezing child.